Yo, Bracy Skills Clinic's back with another video. It's actually been a while since we've done a Spurs talk video, and I've been kind of saving this one in the archives, man. I've been waiting to talk about this topic because, if you're a Spurs fan, I can see where people are probably getting tired of it. I'm one of those people that are getting tired of these comparisons between our guy, our new guy, Victor Wembanyama, and Bobo. I'm really not understanding why people are acting like Bobo is everything that Wemby is about to be. I don't understand that. I know Gilbert Arenas on his podcast, No Chill, he touched up on it, and I agree with him 100%. Obviously, we all know that Bobo is talented. We all know Bobo is obviously tall. Okay, we know he has a skill set. So I mean, if you want to compare Wemby to Bobo because they're both tall and they both have guard-like skills, okay, fine. We know Bobo is a freak of nature as far as his height matched up with his skill set. Okay, fine. But to sit here and act like we should not talk about Wemby because Bobo's already here, that's where it really drives me nuts. Okay, I mean because you got to think of it like this, besides football. Or football is the only sport where, you're getting drafted off potential, or you're not getting drafted off potential. Like, you're getting drafted to be a contributor right away in football. Like, outside of the quarterback position, literally every draft pick can actually go out on the field and be a starter and be a major, major impact on your team's success in year one. Sometimes the quarterback can do the same, but I would say the quarterback position is the only one where you look at it from a potential standpoint, right? Running backs can come in and start. Same with wide receivers. Same with the defensive players, your skill level players, right? Where, baseball and basketball, they're drafting for surely off potential, especially basketball. Everything is potential based. So when you look at Bobo, obviously he had a lot of potential. When he was in high school, he was one of the top players in the country in high school. He went to Oregon. He had success at Oregon. Had an injury. People would say the injury is the reason why he dropped, and that could be partially true, right? But if in Bobo's case, right, if you're working out and you're being evaluated by several NBA teams and you have potential of being a franchise level player like Wembanyama, right, is basically getting right now, even though you're hurt, somebody's going to take the chance on you. Somebody at maybe, if it's not the top 10 pick, somebody that at the end of the first round is going to take a shot at you because there's nothing to lose, especially one of these winning teams. And he fell to the second round. He went to Denver. Denver wasn't a championship Denver Nuggets team, but they were heading in that direction, obviously, right? And it didn't work out in Denver. But Denver basically it was a great move by Denver because they looked at it like, okay, we already have our guys. We already have Jokic and Jamal Murray and Michael Porter. Those are our cornerstone pieces. If Bobo works out, he can be a part of it. If not, we're just going to flip him for something, whether it's a pick, whether it's another veteran player or whatever. And we're just going to, we still got our core intact. And that's basically what they did when they traded Bobo. But what I'm saying, getting back to the Wemby comparison, is if somebody of Bobo's magnitude had franchise player potential, there's no way you're drafting that in the second round. There's no way you're getting rid of that for minimal pieces, and there's no reason, and there's no way you're changing. You're basically playing on 3 teams in the past 2 years, 2 to 3 years. And then I see people say, "Oh, well, Bobo hasn't had a chance." Well, has he given himself a chance? Has he worked hard to give himself a chance? Like, I'm a basketball coach. I know there's situations where some teams just may not fit, some coaches may not fit. I get that. I understand that. But all I'm saying is when you compare the two between Bobo and Wemby, you have one person that where you can see franchise potential. Regardless of what Wemby's not good at right now, you see the franchise potential. You see that he wants to be great. You see the upside. Bobo, you see just skill. You see just height, just skill. You guys cannot sit here and tell me that you see a franchise player in Bobo. I'm not buying that. So when you see all these people, making these comparisons to Wemby and Bobo as far as like, Bobo's the first big guard we've seen, or Wemby is not that great. Bobo's better. There's people that actually think Bobo's better. Like, Bobo's been in the NBA for 5 years. Like, Phoenix might be his last chance, bro. Like, he's on a 1-year contract with Phoenix right now. If Bobo doesn't ball out in Phoenix, his career might be close to done. Like, why are we even making this comparison? And I hate to even do this because I actually, as a basketball coach, as a trainer, I respect the game. I respect all players. I respect all NBA players. I know it's tough to make it as an NBA player. NBA is not a easy thing to do, right? So I don't want to make it seem like I don't respect Bobo's talent. Bobo's very talented. But when you're making the comparison between one guy who's been in the league for 5 years, when he was one of the top players coming out of high school and has been on 3 different teams, and you're comparing him to somebody that we've basically been knowing about since he was 16, kind of similar, but is the most, whether you call it hype or talked about player, whatever, the most talked about draft prospect since LeBron James. It's been 20 years since LeBron James has been drafted. Exactly 20 years. Like, how can you even compare somebody to Wemby, let alone somebody that's been in the league 5 years and has already played for 3 different organizations? I'm getting really tired of these narratives. I think it almost seems like people are just playing games with us. Like, that's how laughable these topics are. It's almost like, okay, they're just messing with us. They're messing with the Spurs. They need something to talk about. Somebody got to be the negative, or somebody got to be on the negative side when it comes to Wemby, because too many people are talking about him so well and he's getting so much hype. Like, I'm almost starting to think that's really what it is, because there's no way you guys can sit here and tell me that Bobo is everything Wemby is about to be. Are you guys serious right now? Like, how? The durability, the best ability is availability. So I know Wemby's career hasn't started yet, but Bobo came into the league. Those concerns that you guys have about Wemby, those haters talking about his injuries and he's not going to last, those concerns that you guys have about Wemby, Bobo actually had those problems. Like, so I don't understand why everybody's trying to make this comparison. All those naysay comments that people say about Wemby, it's happening to Bobo right now. And even worse, because he's been on 3 teams. Like, I just, Spurs fans, man, I know I cannot be the only one that is sick and tired of this comparison, because I just don't see it other than both guys being tall and being able to dribble the ball down the court. Even when you look at it from the from the numbers standpoint, he averaged 9 points a game on a very poor team, Orlando Magic. I like what Orlando's building. Don't get me wrong; they got some young talent, but Orlando needs talent. They need players that are trying to rebuild, and you don't even keep Bobo on a rebuilding team. Bobo can't stay on a rebuilding Magic team, and this is the guy y'all trying to say that is supposed to be better than WEMBANYAMA? How? like Orlando waived Bobo. They didn't even trade him. They got nothing for him. They waived him. Orlando Magic's waived him. Like, this comparison has to stop, bro. I understand they're tall. I understand they're tall with a skill set. Okay, that part is similar. Oh, I understand it. But to me, when I watch Bobo, and it's been reports of this, when I watch Bobo, I don't see that drive. And I'm not talking about just his facial expressions. I'm just talking about recognizing your talent. and understanding that you should be one of the best young players in the league by now. You've been 5 years in the league already. You should be. I mean, you had the perfect situation in Orlando to go out there and play freely, and they chose not to keep him. And we're still trying to make this comparison and say Bobo is better than Wembanyama. He's on a 1-year contract in Phoenix. Great situation. You got vets, Kevin Durant. You got vets around you that you can learn from. This is his last chance in my eyes. Because if it doesn't work out in Phoenix, I don't know too many teams that's going to come calling on Bobo. You didn't play it on two title contenders, and a rebuilding team, and it didn't work. If this doesn't work for Bobo, it's a wrap. So can we please, out of fairness to Bobo, who's trying to find his way in this league, can we stop with the Wemby and Bobo comparisons? Like, let's just stop, bro. They're not similar outside of them being tall and both being able to dribble the basketball. Bobo's not even the shooter that Wemby is right now. I think Bobo shot, 20-something% from three, 26% from three. So even when you look at their games, Wemby's coming off curls, coming off, shooting side steps, falling out of bounds. He's shooting a difficult degree of jump shots. I think Wemby's a far better shooter just looking at his form, just looking at his elevation of his shot as tall as he is. I know everybody's going to say, oh, it's just summer league. He hasn't played in the NBA yet. Okay, fine. But one person has played 5 years in the NBA, and we've yet to see him reach his potential that we thought he would reach by now. This is Bobo's. For all you guys that's making this comparison, remember this. Keep this in mind. For everybody that's out there, I want Spurs fans. Even if you believe Bobo is better as a Spurs fan, which I highly doubt there's any of them out there. Hopefully not. But if you know anybody that says Bobo is better than Wemby, please send them this video, and please make them understand that no matter what you guys say, as far as Bobo in comparison to Wemby, if Bobo doesn't get this right this year in Phoenix on his 1-year contract, he might be out the league. He might be out the league. I hope the young fella figures it out and makes his way in this league. But while you guys are trying to compare this man to Wemby, Bobo is fighting for his NBA career right now. I'm telling you, I don't think if this doesn't work out, I don't know where is he gonna go. I mean, who's gonna want to pick him up if it doesn't work out in this 1-year contract? With the negative things they've said about his work ethic and his drive and his motor. If it doesn't work in Phoenix with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and those guys out there, I don't know where it's going to work out for Bobo. So out of respect for Bobo, let's stop with the Wemby comparison saying Bobo is better. Bobo might have talent. He definitely has talent, but we haven't seen it just like we haven't seen it from Wembanyama. And one guy's been in the league for 5 years. Please help me understand this. We've yet to see Bobo break out. He's been in the league for 5 years. When are we going to see it? We got a small sample size last year in Orlando. And the team that he got a sample size with waived him. They waived him. And once again, this is no disrespect to Bobo. I respect all NBA players. But this comparison is not even fair to Bobo. He's trying to get right and find his way in the league. And you guys are making the comparison with him in a #1 pick when he was drafted 5 years ago. What a damn shame. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We out.